Hey, what's up guys? Joker here. Today we have got a few news stories to get through in the world of tech. The first concerning AMD Navi, which has possibly been spotted on a benchmarking database. We don't know exactly if it's Navi. We're going to get into all of that. Also, we've got the end of 3D support in drivers from Nvidia, something I'm actually very happy about for a bit of an odd, selfish reason, which I'll get into as well. And also, the Epic Game Store has launched an earth-shattering feature that the world never saw coming. So first up, I want to talk about Navi and this leaked benchmark, which could be Navi, honestly. So let's get that out in front right away. We don't know for sure if this is Navi. We just know that it is an unreleased product with a code name that we have not seen before, and it is a GPU from AMD, which performs a little bit better than an RX 580. So it's an unreleased product. It doesn't look like it's an RX 590. It's better than that. It's basically, yeah, it looks like it could possibly be Navi, but there's going to probably be several Navi GPUs. There's not going to be just one. We don't know if it's a high-end, low-end, or if it's a Navi product at all. So let's get into the details here. This was originally posted on r/hardware, the hardware subreddit, and this was posted here by Dylan522p. I guess that's the resolution he likes watching his videos in, 522p. Personally, for me, that's my favorite resolution as well. And he posted this, a link over to CompuBench, where there is a codename product which is numbered 66AF-F1. So if you head over there, you can then find these results and peruse them. So someone conceivably ran this product on the benchmark, and it was then logged into the database, which is not anything real. These aren't like real games or anything like that, so we don't have any actual real-world performance, but we can still see how it stacks up with other GPUs. If we go over to WCCF Tech, we could see a couple of comparisons that they did over there with this unreleased GPU, comparing it to the AMD RX 580, and we could see on a couple of tests here, it's basically putting up performance in the territory of like RX Vega 56, so that would actually be pretty good if Navi comes out and it's Vega 56 performance and they're costing like $200-300. I really think that's where they're going to need to be. But in this one test here, it got an average of 97.3 FPS versus 75.1 on the RX 580, and that is the on-screen Aztec Ruins test. The off-screen one, it got 368 average FPS versus 255 average FPS on the RX 580. So there's not really too much we could take away from these numbers, honestly, other than, okay, there's this unreleased product that is at least being tested, and we know Navi is going to be coming at some point this year, and I think most of us are probably expecting it to be a mid-range part. That's what the rumors are telling us. This is not really going to be a Vega replacement. It's going to be a Polaris replacement. So if these can come out and they're putting out Vega 56 level performance, which these numbers are leading us to believe, then I think that could be a good thing as long as the price is right, because obviously there are already Vega 56 cards out there, and there's also Nvidia cards that can put out the same level of performance as well, going all the way back to the 1070. What will make this product appealing is if they can get the price down, say, below $300. If these are sub $300 and they're putting out Vega 56 performance, then I think that will be a very compelling card, and it will probably compete with the likes of the 2060 or maybe even the 1660 Ti possibly. We'll just have to wait and see. Obviously, these are the only numbers that we have to go off of right now, and we don't even know for sure if it is actually Navi, but hey, it's something worth at least mentioning, and I do look forward to your guys' opinions down in the comments below. Let me know what you think about this leak here. Next up, we have a bit of Nvidia news, who are now ending their support for 3D vision, which is actually something I'm really happy about for, as I said at the start, kind of like a selfish reason. So usually I always do a custom install on my video drivers, and I always uncheck the 3D options. If you look in here, when you do the custom installation, you have these two 3D vision things that can be installed. But if you're not using a 3D display and you don't intend to use the 3D functionality, there's absolutely no reason to ever install these two options on your system. So I've always just had to uncheck them. It's an extra step I have to do every time I install a driver from Nvidia. And I'm excited to see that hopefully go away, if it actually does go away entirely, because they are still going to be supporting it, they said, until April of 2020 with critical updates. So after that point, I don't know if these are going to be gone, these options in the driver installation package, or if they'll still be there, but they just won't ever receive any more new updates. Yeah, both of those things are possible, but as I said, hopefully these things go away and we don't have to actually look at them anymore, because I don't think anyone is using 3D monitors. I mean, you might own a 3D monitor. You probably could honestly even own one without even knowing it. I actually do own a 3D monitor, something I've never used. It was the Asus VG248QE, which was one of the earliest 1080p 144 hertz monitors that you could buy, and I got one of those like as soon as they came out, and I ended up even installing a G-Sync module into it myself, but I definitely did not use the 3D functionality. I had kind of like toyed with the idea of maybe getting 3D glasses at one point, but there's like a module you have to get to. It was like a $150 package you had to buy from Nvidia in order to make this monitor actually work in 3D and be able to use it. So it just wasn't very cost effective, especially when there was such a minimal number of games out there that actually had 3D and did proper implementations of it. So there was no reason whatsoever to use this. I mean, maybe movies, you could watch 3D movies, but again, you're going to be watching them on a 24-inch monitor. Why would you do that when you got a TV? I just don't really see it being used widely very much. But hey, if you're one of the 3 people out there in the world that uses 3D and you're bummed about this, let me know down in the comments below as well. And last, but certainly not least today, I want to talk about the Epic Game Store, which is implementing an earth-shattering feature, something we never saw coming. I honestly can't even believe it, that the Epic Game Store has this. The Steam Store really needs to watch out now, and that feature is called a search bar. That's right, the Epic Game Store, they did it, everybody. They did it. They did it, everyone. The Epic Game Store now has a search bar. That's right, I honestly couldn't even believe it myself until I actually opened up the Epic Game Store and went on there. And look, if you go to the store, there it is. You can actually search for stuff. You can search for all 6 of the games that they sell on the Epic Game Store. Now, obviously, this is an exciting feature, and if you are a fan of the Epic Game Store for some absurd reason, then you're probably happy about this. But honestly, I think the Epic Game Store is complete and utter trash. Now, Steam is not great either, although I know it has huge fans behind it. But there are things Steam could be doing to make it better. They could give developers a larger cut. There's better things they could do with transparency with the community and things like that. So Steam definitely has room to improve. But I will willingly welcome in a new platform, a new store, a launcher, if you will, if it is doing something better than what Steam is. The fact is, right now, Epic is not doing anything better than Steam, in my opinion. They just added in a search bar. They do not even have cloud saves. It's ridiculous. Like when I wanted to test Metro Exodus, I ended up using the benchmark because I couldn't get my saves over to my test setup because there was no cloud saving. It's just awful. Now I was testing it before the game actually came out. Once it was made public, there's a place where you can find the save files and you could copy it over on a USB, but something that I wasn't aware of, before the game actually released out to the public. So, yeah, the Epic Game Store, my experience with it so far has been awful. And then on top of their really crappy interface, which is like very minimalistic, which I like minimalistic. I have no problem with minimalistic. But when you start taking away stuff that makes it feel like it's not even functional, it just lacks basic functionality. And then on top of that, Epic is engaging in anti-competitive business practices by having games like The Division 2 and Metro Exodus coming over to their store as timed exclusives. That is never going to be a good thing, and it's borderline unethical, honestly, and it's something that I think everyone has been pissed off about, that they can't choose where they get to play their game. If it goes in the Epic Game Store, then if it's not a first-party product from Epic, then I see no conceivable reason why that can't be on Steam or GOG or any other store out there. So, yeah, that's really all I got for you guys today, but as always, I do look forward to your thoughts, opinions, comments, and everything. Please leave them down below, and let's continue the discussion about the possible leaked Navi GPU, also the lack of 3D vision support moving forward, and the Epic Game Store getting its earth-shattering search bar feature, which I can't believe it's even here. It's so amazing. But, as I said, I'm going to get out of here. Hope you guys all have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow for another video. Tara.